Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, so you know how those new Drake reference tracks leaked for the timestamp records of 5 a.m. in Toronto on draft day, right? I did my video about it, and in my video, I said that I was about 70-30 believing it to not believing it. 70 that I didn't believe it, 30 that I did. That those references were real. So YouTuber Jay Nolan got on his journalistic bag and did some great research, pulled some old things, and found some receipts that might take me from 70-30 to 60-40. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, protect hip hop culture at all costs. That's what this boils down to. Protect hip hop culture. Link is in the pinned comment. Go grab you one. I'm sending personal thank you videos to everybody who grabs in the next 9 days. Let's go. This is important.
What's going on, beautiful people?
By the way, Jay Nolan is also an artist, and he's a YouTuber who, when I first found him, because he reacted to Acadiddy, so shout out, salute. He was in my good book after that. You dig? So hopefully you react to the next one coming up, G.
Kid Jay Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode
Shout
of Inside the
Jay
Industry,
Nolan.
number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns.
I sped it up a little bit, by the way, because it's a 23-minute video. I don't want to sit the regular speed.
Everybody's doing well out there on this Sunday evening, okay? Now, y'all know it was just the other day that I talked about this artist by the name of Chapo that people have been speculating has been doing some writing for Drake or had been doing some writing for Drake in the past, okay? We did a little bit of a deep dive on his history in the music industry. We were able to source him all the way back to around 2009, 10, something like that, when he came into the industry with MBK Entertainment, which is the company that brought in Alicia Keys, Tyrese, her, and a bunch of other artists, right? Himself included in that. He used to go by the name Fame. He was also a part of the, I believe it was either 2011 or 2012 BET Cypher. There's photos out there of him.
Hey, are you sure you're not Chapo? I'm gonna keep it tall. I watched this. I watched the first couple minutes of this. Just on some, I wasn't even thinking about reacting to it. And like I said, he started saying stuff that made me go from 70-30 to 60-40 that this, and I didn't even watch the whole thing, that these reference tracks might be 100% true. And if you're listening, I didn't know none of that. This boy did his research. You got to shout out the good hip hop media that's doing their research, or journalism, hip hop journal, whatever, commentators, whatever. This boy, I had to put it on my page.
Him in that cipher
and shout him out
Tito
because he
Lopez
did some work, didn't he?
And a couple of other Breonna Perry, other artists.
I ain't know all this.
Were of that time period who didn't really break through. I don't know what the situation was with Tito Lopez, but he was actually a very dope artist. I believe he was.
This boy is a private investigator. And this helps with everybody saying, who's Chapo? Why would he have any connections to Drake? Who's he? This is just some random guy. So it's like, he's not just some random guy.
He was fire, but it just went in the cards for him or whatever. I think he became a ghostwriter himself, honestly. But nonetheless, he goes by Chapo now. We talked about that 5 a.m. in Toronto leak that it sounded very close to his voice on that record. We ended up playing you a record of Chapo so y'all could hear the side-by-side comparison to what it is that we were hearing. Some people said that they believe it was OVO Hush, which OVO Hush is somebody who has been in Drake's camp for quite some time. If you go back to Take Care, if you go back to Nothing Was the Same, you'll see his name all throughout the writing credits for Anthony Powman. I've talked about OVO.
Maybe that's why I didn't even know. Maybe that's why they call him Hush. Shh, hey, don't say nothing. Just write it. Don't.
Hush on my channel as well. He also goes by the name Young Tony. I don't think it sounded so much like him. They have similar pitch in their voice, similar East Coast kind of accent, but I don't think it was him. Now, as it pertains to this Chapo guy, another leak is out there. This time, it's not exactly a timestamp, but it's a timestamp type record. Draft Day, Johnny Manziel. Y'all remember that record? Draft Day, Johnny Manziel. All these years later, how am I the man still? Or some whatever the fuck that was that he said.
Why so you get mad?
We've got a video of Chapo playing himself rapping the Draft Day song. Again, I gotta be fair in my assessment. He could have easily found the Draft Day instrumental on YouTube. It's available for anybody that wants it. Could rap on it and say, yo, this is a reference track.
And that's true. Now, of course, there's gonna be people who just come in and the OVO stands who are gonna be like, no, Jay could never, and didn't actually watch this video. And that's why I said 60-40, because nowadays it's so, it could be just as easy as that to create it. But that's why I was 70-30 in the beginning. But after, with the research that this man did, I was like, and it wouldn't be fair to Chapo or anybody for me to just not put this part out with way more receipts. And you know they call me Mr. Receipt Gang, so I had to put it out there. And clearly, this guy damn near no Chapo, so. So yeah, and that's why I said like it's so easy. The problem is at the end of the day, no matter whether you believe this or don't believe this, it's Drake's fault for people believing this, for being such a prolific ghostwriter user, for being outed with numerous reference tracks in the past. And there's even people who saying, nah, this couldn't be Drake because these versions are so worse and they're so not good. It's like, yeah, but when you go listen to Quentin Miller's references, they're worse than when Drake delivered them too. It's not about who delivered them better. It's about, did you write these or not? Because if I find out you didn't write these timestamp records, bro, then yeah, it was all a facade, bro. And I don't blame anybody who fully believes this with this, because it's like I said, it's like having that one crackhead cousin, you know what I'm saying, who be stealing and has a history of stealing, and then you leave and you come back and your goddamn VCR is missing. I don't know why you have a VCR 2012, but it's missing, and he was the only person there. You could believe it. Like, man, you stole, bro. So it's Drake's fault, no matter if you believe this or not. Like I said, I still lean towards but not as much.
As somebody who understands how this stuff goes, because as somebody that understands how certain people may move for clout chasing and things of that nature.
And then I also know the time, but people go, the timing, why didn't it release? That's true, but what has happened recently that might have the Chapo incentivized to drop this? Think about it. Could somebody might have been suing one of the most powerful record labels ever, who might know all of this stuff? That's why I say the timing isn't too crazy to me. The timing actually makes a little bit of sense.
I understand how accessible that is and how possible that is. I can't rule it out. However, it does seem that there's a little bit more credence being pointed in the direction of this guy Chapo. Okay? Because not only do I have the video of him playing a so-called reference of him rapping the Draft Day record, but I've also got something that he put out on his TikTok from 2010.
I don't know how
when he did a song.
I don't know
with
how
Boy
Jay
Wonder.
Nolan found it.
If y'all are familiar with Drake, and
did a song with who?
When he did a song with Boy Wonder.
This is where a little bit into it, then I cut it off here, so now I gotta react to this. So he has connections to Boy Wonder. That's not good for the I don't believe it argument. That's more towards the now I'm starting to believe it a little bit more. Like, wait, what?
If y'all are familiar with Drake and OVO and pretty much every Drake album and shit, every Drake mixtape, if you go back to the very beginning, Boy Wonder is a consistent producer in Drake's camp, the original Drake producer in Drake's camp from day one.
That's not good. That's not good.
And we've got songs from 2010 with Chapo and Boy Wonder. I'm gonna show y'all that connection. In a minute.
So there
I'm also gonna show y'all a video of this guy Chapo saying, this is around the time, this is last year when the Mob Ties reference track leaked out. He said, that's cool, but what if timestamps started leaking?
How did we miss this? Jay Nolan, you that one. Not the two when it comes to this investigation. A lot of people just reacted to the initial leaks and moved on. But do people? When I saw this, I was like, "Wait, do people know this exists?"
But y'all look at this guy then. How would the narrative on him be spread about Drake?
So to the people be like, because even me, I thought it was like, man, one of the reasons I was 70-30, because I was like, well, I don't know if this. I didn't think this person had any connections really to Drake or just some random dude. But then when he said the Boy Wonder thing, I went, uh-oh. And then another reason why wait, hold on.
Look at this guy then.
Oh yeah, another reason why I was like, why would you, if you've had this all this time, why would you randomly right now say it? When he said that this man has been saying this, I said, oh.
How would the narrative on him be spread about Drake if, for instance, timestamps started leaking of references? And what do you know, a timestamp
specifically he said timestamps
with this guy's voice on it. Again, I don't know
Say it
anything
ain't so,
as it
bro.
pertains to what happened in the studio, who wrote what.
5 a.m. in
I cannot say
Toronto
definitively
is
that Chapo
one of my
wrote
favorite
anything
Drake
or has
verses.
any connection to Drake specifically. I have not seen them in video and or picture.
Me neither. That's
Okay?
what I'm saying.
If anyone is angry for me stating that I cannot definitively say anything, you say it yourself. I will not, because I cannot definitively say anything.
Anybody who says they could definitively say anything is lying, unless they're literally in the studio or they have some sort of evidence they could show you. That's why I said I couldn't definitively say this either. That's why I break mine down to percentages, where now it's like
I was not present. I didn't put pen down on paper to do it myself, and I haven't seen any evidence of them in the same room. However, I will give him the opportunity to share his
That's why
side
I
of the
wanted to
story.
react to this. He needs to
That's
share
all
his
I can
side.
do.
Facts, Jay.
Right?
Talk
So
crazy,
here's the
Jay.
video of Chapo alluding to some timestamps leaking.
I may not be able to speak, but I could put it in.
I watched this all the way up to here and I cut it off right here. So I don't know. I actually cut it off before when he said that somebody had a leak. So this is going to be new to
That's
me.
all I can do. All right? So here
But I could put it.
video of Chapo alluding to some timestamps leaking.
I may not be able to speak, but I could put it in music. And what if all, you know, that narrative Drake hands out number ones? What if, stay with me, what if all those number ones just started leaking and they were written by other artists? What if timestamps started leaking?
This is apparently, this was dropped when the Mob Tie references came out. So like I said, bro, I was like, I don't know if I believe it. If he would have just dropped it right now, I would look. But no, this isn't new. This isn't new. Maybe somebody in a record label, this is all alleged, this is just what maybe I'm thinking, called him up. Hey, you know all them like NDAs and stuff you've been signing? Go on, leak them. We got you. Go on, leak them. But I don't want to get in trouble. No, we got him. Go on, drop him. I'm just saying, my conspiracy mind. But if he was saying this since then, it's 60-40, bro. Now it's 60-40. I'm sorry, I jumped up 10%.
Then what?
I thought there was just some
I don't know,
random.
y'all tell me, man. Like I said, May 30th, man. A lot of this shit will get answered May 30th. Y'all just gotta wait till May 30th. It's a couple days. It's all there. It's all there. May 30th. I promise you, you will leave May 30th with a very, very, very different perspective and a very, very keen sense.
So he's been wanting to leak these. He's been wanting to leak these.
Just saying.
All right, so it says, I have some legitimate what-if questions for Drake fans. Just hear me out, y'all. Do you think these leaks affect Aubrey's top 5 status given? So he's talking about the Mob Ties leaks, which, crazy. Talk to me May 30th.
So that was Chapo last year. He was saying May 30th
Last
we're going to
year
get some
he
sort
said
of
this. Before the battle, right? Wait, was this before the battle?
clarity.
Regardless, it was
about
last year.
Drake. Now I don't necessarily remember what took place on May 30th of
Me
last
neither.
year.
What happened May 30th?
as it pertains
Did
to the
something
Kendrick
happen?
and Drake ordeal. But nonetheless,
If somebody knows anything that happened May 30th with Drake last year, put it in the comment section.
in the days, months, etc. to follow, we seen that this beef continued. Drake continued to play into it in terms of the IG story, the 100 gigs, all of this stuff. Kendrick did the pop out after that, announced the pop out after
So I
that.
may be wrong. Maybe
all
May
this stuff,
was
right?
after.
But the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about here is him saying, what if timestamps started leaking? Next thing you know, we got a timestamp reference with this man's voice.
Okay,
on.
so it
Now,
must have been.
let's get to
So this must have been in the middle of the battles, right? Regardless.
this draft day alleged reference track. And this time it's
We already reacted to this one. Hold
It's
on.
with him actually playing it in the video. This isn't just a random voice, and
We've
we're trying to
already
match it
reacted
up.
to
This is literally,
so
Wait, that boy know he the shit. That boy the niggas is
I'm gonna still play a little bit.
and this time it's with him actually playing it, and really him playing this joint.
You know it's real when your niggas will take the fall for you. All on you, so you keep egging me on, and we gon' have to crack your shell just to prove that you ain't hard for you. Last night I tried out some raw oysters. Man, that boy growing up quick. That boy know he the shit. That boy singing and know his songs and he know he can spit. That boy manifested it. That boy knew it was written. That boy did it on purpose. That boy know that they shitting on you when they can't get past you. You should have followed all my moves.
I ain't gonna lie to you, and he rapping infinitely better in this. I guess I didn't play this clip. He rapping infinitely better on this one than the ones that I heard in the car. Infinitely. This sounds a little bit more like, okay, this could have been Dre.
You won't realize the after. And if I left this shit to Chance, I would have picked the name like Chance the Rapper. No offense, cause I don't know that nigga. I'm focused on making records and getting bigger. Just hits, no misses, that's for the married folks. Tell me fix up my suite, cause I'm coming home. I heard them talking crazy, I was out of town. You know they let her pop all that shit when I'm not around. But when I'm in, not a sound. That'll make me snap, jot it down, go on the booth and lay a body down. No Somali, let's say we got it, we're locked.
Okay, that's the draft day alleged reference, right? Now, for those people out there that believe this is some bullshit, I mean, you're clearly entitled to feel that way.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try
right.
to change your mind because I don't know what's real and what's not. All I can do is talk about what's circulating, right?
70-30.
But I'll tell you what,
60-40 now.
if he is somebody who's worked in the industry, if he's somebody who's been writing for other artists outside of Drake, if he's somebody who...
Oh, it's a rap for that, by the way. It's cooked for that.
It's
if that
documented.
It's cooked for that.
Who he's been signed to, who he's
cooked.
been around, who he continues to be around in the music industry. If he indeed is doing this just for clout, then that's going to ruin his reputation with all of these people
he fried if
that he's had relationships with all these years. This is an artist or a writer who's been in the industry since he was a kid.
This is a Hail Mary pass.
Now, some people may say maybe that's why he's doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the industry since he was a kid. He never popped off to the level of degree that he was looking for. So now he's doing clout chasey shit to get people to watch his TikTok or watch his, Twitter posts or whatever the case may be. And I'm sure there's some people out there that are like that. But again, if he is indeed working with other artists in any capacity, why would they trust him if he's out here doing bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Just doing fake ass shit for clicks and views. I wouldn't work with somebody like that. I know that much. Yep. I wouldn't want to be around him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then he finds himself in the circumference of people that generally wouldn't tolerate that from people. You know what I'm saying? Mano is known for smacking niggas. Memphis Bleak ain't somebody that's going to be around no sucker ass nigga, somebody that's unofficial, because Memphis Bleak don't rock like that. Mm-hmm. Anybody that knows about Bleak should know. You know what I'm saying? This is the same Bleak who told y'all, man, I don't even like the fact that Jay-Z said that fucking long as he alive, I'm a millionaire line, because that shit wasn't ringing true. There was a point in time that Memphis Bleak said he was back selling crack after the Rockefeller breakup.
Now, let me see.
So he's a get it how you live type mixtape. Every Drake album has multiple Boy Wonder tracks.
Okay, so
and they came up together.
He's talking about him and Boy Wonder, the dude working with Boy Wonder.
So
sorry, I had to skip a little.
People started questioning his validity in the industry.
I didn't see this. See, I didn't see this. Oh no, I was signed as a songwriter to Harvey Mason Jr. from 2008 to 2013. At that time, me and Boy Wonder did a whole project that turned into something different. Just check the dates. This been my sound since the beginning. Just Google Harvey Mason Jr. and report back.
Said it's on. Yeah. The moment that they said I was on.
Hey, yo, what up, Boy Wonder?
Sleeping no need for 2
Welcome to Brooklyn, baby.
I gotta give respect for my
I be the truth, man. Going off the deep and they shaking. The hottest nigga in the game just met his replacement. Yeah.
The moment that they said I was on.
See what I'm talking about, though?
Sleeping no need for 2
I get the controversy start now.
I gotta give respect for my
Hey, y'all knew this was gonna happen too, Boy Wonder. I knew once me and you got it moving, it was gonna be crazy like this.
This is receipts, bro. So he's connected to Boy Wonder.
That is the artist now known as Chapo, formerly known as Fame, also formerly known as Live Moolah. He puts out this track he did with Boy Wonder back in the days. Now, if you go back to this clip, he shows you it's literally coming from his email, dated in 2010.
Oh, okay? Hell no.
And he says here, I was signed as a songwriter to Harvey Mason Jr., which I told y'all the other day. He was signed to Harvey Mason Jr. Once again, Harvey Mason Jr. is the head of the Recording Academy, which is the organization over the Grammys currently. And Harvey Mason is the newest head of all of that.
I'm about to hire this. My next rap battle, Jay, I'm about to hire you to do some research. Yeah, you. If I get into another rap battle, just expect a call from scratch. Hey, nigga, I need you to find out in 5th grade if he tripped. You know what I mean? Like, I need...
Right?
What? How did you...
But before
how
all
did
of
you
that,
find this?
He was signed to Harvey Mason Jr. from 2008 to 2013. He says, at that time, me and Boy Wonder did a project that turned into something different. Okay? So they did a whole project at the time, but unfortunately, it seems that it never came out. He says, just check the dates. This been my sound since the beginning, the Chop Shop. Just Google Harvey Mason Jr. and report back. That's his message, right? And again,
so
this email is from February, what is that, the 10th of 2010?
Clout chaser.
Or 19th, sorry. Had to lean in, the shit is small as fuck. And there's a couple other songs tagged here in the or
Got it good.
uploaded here in the email. What else is in here? And at the bottom here, you can see that this email thread is with Michael Daly, and his email tag is from HarveyMasonMedia.com. So that gives even extra credence to the fact that he was working with Harvey Mason and co, because they were emailing back and forth this Boy Wonder project under the Harvey Mason umbrella. So everything that he said is pretty much checking out. I got to be honest. If there's enough honesty and if there's enough pieces that are falling together in the puzzle, I got to give somebody at least enough rope to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt that most of what they saying has to be some level of true. Now, I don't know what songs he did with Drake or for Drake, but let's just keep this in perspective. If you're working with Drake's producer on a whole project, right? This is 2010.
And his
now, to be fair,
like his closest producer other than 40.
Thank Me Later came out, what, 2009? Let me check the date on that. I think it was 2009, but I could be wrong. Damn, no, it came out later than I thought it did. That bitch came out June 15th, 2010. Okay? And if you go into the history of this record, it was recorded at various recording studios during 2009 to...
So 4 months after this email.
2010, and was mostly produced by longtime collaborators 40 and Boy Wonder. This is from the Thank Me Later Drake Wikipedia page. Okay? So let's just put this in perspective.
I might have gone to 45%, I believe it now. 40,
in some kind of way, you're doing a 55. Complete project, damn near mixtape or album of your own with Boy Wonder. Boy Wonder is Drake's go-to man for beats. I mean, if you go through the Boy Wonder catalog, you got to think about, I want this shit forever, man. All that shit from back then. Fear. The song where he said he never cried when Pac died, but he probably will when Hove does. All those records from that time period. Boy Wonder. If you're in the studio creating with him and he's that close to Drake, then that exponentially increases the likelihood of him saying,
okay, so basically the rest of this is him going to be speaking on what we're seeing here as the evidence. If you want, please go watch his whole full reaction. I'm going to link it below. Yeah, I think I went up to, I think by the end of this, I landed at 55%. I don't believe it. 45, I do. You tell me in the comment section. What?